A very good evening to all brothers and sisters in the Dhamma. Today is the 7th August 2025, Thursday class. So we are sharing from the Heart Sutra, second edition of our book. We are at page 151. As usual, we will have our physical puja. Then after that, we will continue with where we stop. 南无本师释迦牟尼佛。南无本师释迦牟尼佛。南无本师释迦牟尼佛。南无观世音菩萨。南无观世音菩萨。南无观世音菩萨。南无阿弥陀佛。南无阿弥陀佛，南无阿弥陀佛，南无弥勒佛，南无弥勒佛，南无弥勒佛，南无药师佛，南无药师佛，南无药师佛，南无普贤菩萨，南无普贤菩萨，南无普贤菩萨，南无地藏王菩萨。南无地藏王菩萨，南无地藏王菩萨，南无佛菩萨，南无佛菩萨，南无佛菩萨。อะระหังสัมมาสัมพุทโธภะคะวะพุทธังภะคะวันตังอะภิวาเทมิสวากาโตภะคะวะตาธัมโมธัมมังนัมสสามิสุปฏิปันโนภะคะวะโตสาวกสังโฆสังฆังนามามินะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะบุตตังสรณังกัจฉามิธัมมังสรณังกัจฉามิสังฆังสรณังกัจฉามิดุติยัมปิบุตตังสรณังกัจฉามิดุติยัมปิธัมมังสรณังกัจฉามิดุติยัมปิสังฆังสรณังกัจฉามิตติยัมปิบุตตังสรณังกัจฉามิตติยัมปิธัมมังสรณังกัจฉามิตติยัมปิสังฆังสรณังกัจฉามิปานาติปาตาเวรมณีสิกขาปะทังสมาธิยามิอาดินาดานาเวรมณีสิกขาปะทังสมาธิยามิกาเมสุมิจฉาจาราเวรมณีสิกขาปะทังสมาธิยามิสุโวสาวาดาเวรมณีสิกขาปะทังสมาธิยามิสุราเมรยามัจจาปมาดัตตานะเวรมณีสิกขาปะทังสมาธิยามิสาธุสาธุสาธุ Okay, let us pay respect to Puja. Buddhang Pujemi. Dhammang Pujemi. Sanghang Pujemi. So awareness-based meditation is very simple. when you have the understanding. Just remember, our sole purpose is to train our mind to be aware. And this awareness-based meditation is to develop this inner awareness so that we can silence our mind to realize the true mind, the silent mind or the meditative mind, which is just the pure awareness nature. There is a nature within us that is just aware. And there is the primordial mind or nature within. From there, all things arise. All manifestation of the mundane thinking, the mundane mind, the mundane consciousness, they manifest from there. The mano that the Buddha talked about, he referred to this mano, which is our mundane mind, our thinking mind, our dependent originating mind, as the forerunner of all things, as chief. When this mind arises, all things arise, all creation arise, all creation manifests through our senses, via our respective consciousness, including all the energy that manifests via the life force process, the karmic nature. And this is how living beings develop consciousness, for us to be conscious of life, conscious of what is going on within life. So this awareness-based meditation is to develop the ability to silence this mundane mind so that there is no more thought, no more thinking, so that you are not clouded by this thought process, not deceived and deluded by what arises within the mundane thought activity, the conscious mind. The conscious mind, which is the process of thinking, stirring, reaction of emotion, all this arise based on our wrong thought, wrong view, and sakkayaditthi or delusion. So awareness-based meditation is to go back to our true mind, the original true mind, silent mind, before the thought arises, before the stirring of the mind, before the mind entangles itself with external manifestation, before it gets itself deluded, before it entangles. So all this is what mindfulness is capable of seeing. And when you are mindful and aware, you can develop the understanding of what is going on within your form and mind. Then you can develop the understanding of who are you, what are you, and how you function as a living being. For our case, is a human being. All this require the inner awareness, to be sensitive, to have the clarity, to have the seeing with that silent mind clearly, the direct seeing, that nature's ability to see things as they are, the silent observation of what is, to insight into phenomena, to realize the three universal characteristics of anicca, dukkha, and anatta. That's why sati or mindfulness is very important. This inner awareness is very important. So you just silence your mind completely. Don't try to think, don't try to know, don't try to do anything. Just relax, maintain awareness until the mundane thinking completely slow down and come to a standstill until the original state of mind before the arising of thought process or the aggregate of mind return. When this true mind return, it is completely silent, without thought. Its characteristic is tranquility, stillness, pure awareness, with no words, no concept, no thought activity or thinking. So I will set the alarm for 30 minutes so that you can develop the training of the mind to be aware within and use it to develop the wisdom, to meditate, to develop the understanding. You can slowly, mindfully come out of the meditation. Try to maintain whatever inner peace, inner calmness, and inner awareness of mind that you have developed for as long as you can. These are the meditative states that can help you develop the stability of daily mindfulness, leading to heedfulness throughout the day, so that you can be heedful in the midst of life. Invocation to the Devas. In this universe, in the entirety, let the deities and Devas come here. Let them hear the good teachings of the King of Sages, which gives heaven and release, Nibbana. This is the time to listen to the teaching. This is the time to listen to the teaching. This is the time to listen to the teaching. Samanta Chakawalisu Atra Gacha Tu Devata Saddammang Muni Rajasa Sunantu Sakamokadang Dhamma Savanan Kalo Ayang Badanta Dhamma Savanan Kalo Ayang Badanta Dhamma Savanan Kalo Ayang Badanta Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Iti Piso Bhagava Arahang Samma Sambuddho Vijacharana Sampanno Sugato Lokavidu Anuttaro Purisa Dhamma Sarati Satta Deva Manusanang Buddho Bhagavati Swakato Bhagavata Dhammo Sanditiko Akaliko Ehipaseko Opanayiko Pacatang Veditabo Vinohiti Supatipanno Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Ujupatipanno Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Nyayapatipanno Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Amicipatipanno Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Yadidang Chatari Purisa Yukani Atta Purisa Pugala Esa bhagavato sāvaka sangho ahuneyo pahuneyo dakhineyo anjali karaneyo anutarang punyang ketang lokasati sadhu sadhu sadhu. Okay, you all can be seated. Then we shall continue from where we stop, page 151 of the Heart Sutra book. We have done with the 8th title, Consciousness as Taught under the Mahayana. Then now we move on to 2.2, the 4 foundation of mindfulness. So this one was based on the sharing at that time. So the captured notes, short notes, are just in brief. But nevertheless, I will try to explain to those who are new the understanding of why the 4 foundation of mindfulness, or in Pali is called the Satipatthana Sutta, is very important. Where this is a very unique sutta as taught by the Buddha. In fact, you look through the essential Dhamma, you can find this under the Satipatthana Sutta. So in the Satipatthana Sutta, it is mentioned by the Buddha in the opening statement, a very powerful statement. He told the monk at that time, he said, Ekayano bhikkhave bhikkhu. Then he continued. He said, O monk or O bhikkhu, this is the only way, he used the word only way, for the purification of being, for the overcoming of sorrow and lamentation and grief, for reaching the right path, for the realization of Nibbana, the enlightenment in the here and now, namely the 4 foundation of mindfulness. That's why without this training of the 4 foundation of mindfulness, it's not easy to develop the full enlightenment or awakening. Especially to realize Anagami shape and Arhanta shape and beyond. Then also in the Satipatthana Sutta, the 4 foundation of mindfulness, the beginning of each foundation, the Buddha always used this word, after overcoming covetousness and grief, then only you cultivate the 4 foundations. What are the 4 foundations of mindfulness? These are the bases where you can anchor your mindfulness to, where you can develop the training of mindfulness. The first foundation is to anchor it to your kaya, your physical activity, whatever that is within your physical form or kaya. He called it kaya nupassana, mindfulness of kaya. And within this first foundation, there are 5 categories of practices. I will go through it later. Then next is the foundation of feeling or Vedana. The Buddha called it Vedana Nupassana. Means you must develop mindfulness of feeling. So the opening statement is the same. After overcoming covetousness and grief, then only you cultivate this foundation. So first foundation is kaya, followed by Vedana, feeling. Then the third foundation is chitta, Chitta is your thought process, your content of consciousness. Chitta Nupassana. Then the last foundation is Dhamma, the foundation where you cultivate all the essential Dhamma. They call it Dhamma Nupassana. For all the four foundations, the Buddha have the opening statement, after overcoming covetousness and grief, then only you can develop it. The reason being, if you have not overcome covetousness and grief, you cannot cultivate technically. Where if you cultivate, it will not give rise to good result or proper progress. Because these four foundations of mindfulness need stability of mindfulness to cultivate. And for those who have developed the initial wisdom, to be at least the first stage of sainthood or Sotapan, and the second stage of sainthood, or what they call Sakadagami, then only you can overcome covetousness and grief. Where covetousness and grief refer to the evil roots of sensual desire and ill will. So as a Sotapan, you break the first three fetters that binds living being to samsara. The first fetter is, of course, Sakaya Ditti, where you can break free from Sakaya Ditti means self-delusion, realizing clearly that this form and mind is not you, not a permanent unchanging entity where you can cling on to, grasp onto, and hold on to, and claim that the me and the I is you. This is me, this is I. Therefore all this can be mine. So that Sakayaditi will be gone. Then after that, you will know that all the teaching, external teaching regarding rites and ritual that people believe in or popularly taught to entice those who are deluded, they cannot deceive you anymore. That's why you will not be able to deceive by all those rites and ritual with regards to this wrong view, Sakayaditi. Then your faith in the Triple Gem become unshakable. But as a Sotapan, you still have sensual desire and ill will. So sensual desire and ill will are the next two fetters, the fourth and the fifth fetters. At Sakadagami level, you can only attenuate them, means reduce the amount of covetousness and grief. So that sentence in the four foundations of mindfulness, the opening statement before each foundation can be practiced, after overcoming covetousness and grief, refer to the sensual desire and ill will. So until Sakadagami, you can already overcome but not root out yet. Means you can attenuate sensual desire and ill will, or covetousness and grief. So that is the reason why in the there is this what they call Sutta on ignorance, Avijja Sutta. The cultivation involves 10 steps to realize the enlightenment. So the first 6 and 7 steps, they refer to the cultivation of the sainthood way. That's why the 6 and 7. 6 is sense restraint. When you already have the mindfulness so stable, you can develop the sense restraint. Means you can restrain yourself from breaking the precepts. The sense door activity will have no power over you. So sense restraint is to enable you to have the initial wisdom to handle precepts. So when you can do that, means you will not fall to the lower line, the four woeful state, the hell state, the beta, or they call it hungry ghost, then the animal rhyme or the demon rhymes. So that four woeful state, you will not fall in because you keep the precept. Then after you have the ability to keep the precept, means exercise sense restraint, then you will move up to step 7, means you can develop the 3 way of right conduct: right thought, right speech, and right action. Means you can never do the wrong thing. So by then, you would have at least realized Sakadagami, or at least Sotapanna leading to Sakadagami-ship, second stage of sainthood. And then only you move on to step 8. Step 8 is the cultivation of the 4 foundations of mindfulness. That's why in the final summary of the 4 foundations of mindfulness, the Buddha mentioned whoever who cultivate these 4 foundations of mindfulness for diligently with the faith and doing it properly for at the most 7 years, he guarantee you will realize at least anagami-ship if you still have a little bit of fetters remaining. Otherwise you will realize arahantaship. He mentioned maximum 7 years, but there are others who can do it in less than that. Then 6 years, 5 years, 4 years, 3 years, 2 years, 1 year. Then after that, he even go down to 1 week. If you really cultivate these 4 foundations of mindfulness, he said, maximum 7 years, you will realize the sainthood way enlightenment, leading to at least anagami-ship and arahantaship. So that was the promise. That was the sutta's conclusion. That's why this sutta is very beautiful, very important. That's why the teaching focus on this 4 foundations of mindfulness. But most people may not develop the understanding of these 4 foundations of mindfulness. Well, it's not an easy topic. It's not something that can be done easily. You need sati, mindfulness, stability of mindfulness. And you need to have the training to develop the understanding, to understand the sutta and the teaching. Now we go back to the notes. So after introducing you all to the importance of this sutta, now we go into the 4 foundations of mindfulness in brief, which I have listed down in the short notes. The first foundation of mindfulness is Kayanupassana. So Kayanupassana, there are 5 categories of practice. The Buddha starts with anapanasati is it. You must train your mind to develop the mindfulness of the in and out breath, so as to train the mind to be in sati, to develop heedfulness. That's why heedfulness is very important. So this first category of practice is anapana, in and out breath. Sati is mindfulness. So mindfulness of this in and out breath. So when you train yourself in anapanasati, you develop sati, mindfulness. So it's similar to our awareness-based meditation. Whatever that can train you to develop this inner awareness, stability of inner awareness, you can do it. So here, the Buddha at that time taught anapanasati because it's popularly accepted and developed by most monks at that time. And anapanasati is very easy because our breath is always with us. Without breath, we will die. Then the other thing about the breath is it's a very neutral object of meditation, suitable for most people. Any type of personality or character, if you have a neutral object, then it will be suitable. Otherwise, it may not be suitable for some people. Then after you have trained your mind in anapanasati, after you have developed sati, it can lead to stability of it, which is heedfulness. When you are heedful means you are ever mindful, constantly meditative. That's what heedfulness is all about. Dhammapada verse 23. So the Buddha said under Dhammapada verse 23, the constantly meditative and ever mindful, those who do these two practice consistently, he called them the steadfast one, they will realize the supreme born-free nibbana, means the realization of nibbana, enlightenment in the here and the now. That's why the first category of training is always mindfulness. So here in the four foundation of mindfulness, there is kaya anupassana. The Buddha start with mindfulness of the in and out breath, where our breath is part of our kaya. In fact, whatever training that can help you develop the silent mind within, the pure awareness nature within, you can use it. Then after that, he said, you have to stabilize this anapanasati, to include it, to develop the mindfulness leading to heedfulness while in the midst of life. So the next category of cultivation is, the Buddha said, once heedful, you cultivate the four foundation of, the four posture, mindfulness of the four posture. Means standing, aware, sitting, aware, walking, aware, and while lying down, aware. So these are the four postures of humanity at any one time. Then of course, while living life, you can actually move from sitting to walking, to lying down, and also standing. So these four postures, they will alternate among themselves. Then all the connecting movement between these four postures, you need to develop mindfulness too. That's why the third category of practice is called sati sampajana. You not only develop mindfulness of all activity within the kaya anupassana, including the four posture and the connecting activity, even answering nature's call. So this mindfulness training must have clear comprehension. That's why sati sampajana means you must clearly comprehend why you develop sati. So this clear comprehension is very important. And there are 4 types of clear comprehension. The first clear comprehension is sincerity of purpose. You develop this sati, 4 foundation of mindfulness training, is to develop the wisdom to awaken, nothing else. Not for psychic purpose or fame and all those things. Not to develop supernormal power and all those things. Where those are not conducive for the purification of being, for the overcoming of sorrow, lamentation, and grief, for reaching the right path, for the realization of Nibbana, which is a cessation of form and mind. That's why sincerity of purpose is very important. When you are sincere, you will not deviate. You just cultivate sincerely to realize the wisdom and the awakening. Then the second clear comprehension is to understand that the domain of meditation is very, very extensive. Means, what are the areas within meditation? Means, meditation is not what most people think. You must be in a quiet location, like a retreat area, or you must in a formal posture, sitting quietly, or in any other posture, formally, not moving. Those are just posture. Domain of meditation means, like as described by the Buddha, Anapanasati, you can be in a formal posture to train it. Then after that, mindfulness of the 4 posture is within life. As long as you are active in life, this 4 posture will be there. So you can train them while in the midst of life. Similarly, sati sampajana is the same. Mindfulness of all kaya activity, all activity of mind, activity of physical body, activity of feeling, all your mental states, including all the Dhamma within. So when you cultivate this sati, sampajana, or daily mindfulness, it can involve life itself. So you don't need to wait until you retire. You don't need to wait until you have free time to go full time. No need. The Buddha said domain of meditation is very extensive. In the midst of life, you can cultivate. That's why I did it in the year 86 to 89. It was continuous, full day cultivation of the daily mindfulness, leading to the stability of it and the awakening that follow. Then the third type of clear comprehension is the clear comprehension of what they call reality in the here and the now. Means, what is the most important time, which is now, in the here and the now. What are the most important people? The people who are around you, where you can help or make a difference, or to any beings that you can relate to in the here and the now. And the most important place is the place you are. So time, place, and people means clear comprehension of the suitability or reality within the here and the now. And lastly is the clear comprehension of non-delusion, so that you are not deluded by the 10 defilements of insight, or the 50 different samadhi when they manifest during inappropriate meditation practices. Yeah. So when you go through those type of meditative experience or mind state, that can be like amazingly wonderful or beautiful, do not be deluded by it. So clear comprehension of non-delusion is very important to prevent the cultivator from deviation. So now I will read to you the third category of practice. Then you move on to cultivate sati sampajana, or mindfulness with clear comprehension of all the connecting activity in between the four postures. That is your daily mindfulness of all action, all movement within the present moment, including answering nature's call, etc., to develop the initial wisdom or insight into the three characteristics of nature, the three universal characteristics of nature. And the fourth type of clear comprehension are clear comprehension of sincerity of purpose, domain of meditation, suitability, or the reality of the here and the now. And lastly, the clear comprehension of non-delusion. Then we move on to the fourth category of practice, where the Buddha specifically mentioned. He said, then the bhikkhu should cultivate mindfulness of the four elements, which constitute this physical form, to see its anatta nature. Means when you cultivate this physical body, when you contemplate on this four elements within the human body, or the physical body, which the Buddha called rupa. For simplicity, the Buddha break it down into four elements. You have the Pathavi element, or earth element, which is represented by solidity, the solid part of the body, like your bones, skulls, or etc. Then you have the water element that exhibit the liquid part, the cohesion part. Then you have the wind element, like your breath, your pulse of life, whatever that is within the physical body. And all these are very important understanding. Then finally is the heat element. You need heat, appropriate temperature to sustain the physical body, so that it can be in a conducive working condition. So these four elements, when you contemplate and develop mindfulness of it, you realize they are only elements, and they go the way of nature. So how can it be you? That's why the Buddha asks us to contemplate the 5 daily contemplation. He said later on you will come to realize this body of ours is of the nature to grow old, get sick, and finally die, including injury, sickness, disease, etc. For it goes the way of nature. It's not you, it's not a permanent, unchanging entity. So this physical body, consisting of the four elements, with no knowing, how can it be you? The consciousness part, which is the knowing element, is the consciousness that is trapped inside. That one also not a permanent, unchanging entity. It is only one of the causes and conditions for the human being or living being to animate into the living being. Or we call it the five aggregate of form and mind. So this fourth category of practice, the contemplation of the four elements, is very important. And because of these four elements, everything comes together. And the next one is the fifth category of practice, is to explain to you that the physical body is made up of all the 32 parts that constitute the physical body. Just like the bullock cart, all the parts that comes together and perform a function, then you give it a name and a concept, and you label it as a bullock cart. Then it arises already, exists. Means you must see its condition arising nature, dependent originating. Without these 32 parts coming into being, performing its respective function, it cannot become a physical body. Yeah. You cannot call it a rupa within the human body, or the so-called five aggregates of form and mind, the human being. So then contemplate on the 32 parts that constitute the physical body, to understand its condition arising nature of all these parts coming together to perform the function of a human being, and to realize its foulness. Means this physical body, if you don't clean it, develop the maintenance and upkeep, they call it a dirty skin bag, 臭皮囊, because it has a lot of orifice to discharge all the toxin and byproduct of nature. It excretes all your sweat, your urine, your mucus, and also your feces, urine. Then within all this physical body, the organ, all the parts within, especially those who study medicine, you are a surgeon. When you do the operation, you will know how dirty is it. Even those who have witnessed how they slaughter animals, can it be pigs, chicken, or cattle, or whatever, or even goats. So the foulness of the physical form, that one actually is very obvious. They are not real, they are not you. They are condition arising entity. And you attach to it, cling on to it, you will develop suffering. Then the last category of practice is the sixth. Finally, is that contemplate the 9 stages of cemetery decomposition of this physical body after it is devoid of consciousness. Means after consciousness separate, means we call it death. Our society call it death, the death process. When death occurs, when this physical body is devoid of consciousness, it goes the way of nature. So you start to witness the 9 stages of cemetery decomposition and the foulness of the physical body. That's why that one is to show you very clearly that when conditions cease to be, all of the so-called beautiful form, the youthful form, when you are young, or when you witness all those in the youthful age, that beauty, they are not permanent. They can actually lure and delude living being. Yeah. So this so-called physical body, yeah, the beauty, the youth, and the attractiveness of it when it is in its youthful condition. Without the Dhamma understanding, living being can attach, cling, and be deceived by it. That's why when you see the 9 stages of cemetery decomposition, then you realize all form goes the way of nature. And finally, when it's devoid of consciousness, it's no longer attractive. It's foul, very dirty. And all the reality of the form that goes the way of nature, you're supposed to see it, witness it, and awaken to it. But nowadays, in our more advanced civilization, you don't have to really go to the extent of cultivating this very extensively. No point. Because what is important under the first foundation of mindfulness is the first 3 category of practice. Anapanasati, leading to mindfulness of the 4 Puja, then mindfulness of all connecting activity. Means all action, all movement within the present moment. Means the daily mindfulness. Then after that, to contemplate the 4 elements, the 32 parts, and the 9 stages of cemetery decomposition, you can just reflect on it, contemplate on it. Then just move through. Because when you have the understanding already, you see the importance of the first 3. First, develop sati, leading to heedfulness. Then, stabilize the daily mindfulness, so that in the midst of life, you are also heedful. Then the heedful never die. That's it. You're already home. Heedfulness is the path to the deathless. The heedful never die. Whereas if you don't develop the training of daily mindfulness, you cannot be mindful in the midst of life. Then how can you be heedful in the midst of life? And Dhammapada verse 21 clearly states that heedlessness is the path to the dead. The heedless are as if dead. Then you will start to understand why you must train your mind in heedfulness. And to do that, you must train your mind to develop awareness first. Then stabilize it to be ever mindful. Then use it to cultivate the meditation as taught by the Buddha, to realize the state of constantly meditative, means constantly cultivating the 4 foundations of mindfulness and the noble eightfold path training, which is included under the 4th foundation of mindfulness, Dhammanupassana. The last category of practice is mindfulness of the 4 Noble Truths and its 3 turning. That's why the 4 Noble Truths, the 4th Noble Truth is Noble Eightfold Path. So the Noble Eightfold Path and its 3 turning, if you cultivate that, you are constantly meditative. We are in the 4th Noble Truth the Buddha mentioned. If you cultivate this Noble Eightfold Path, it will lead to the end of all suffering. That's why this is the meditation as taught by the Buddha. The first 3 Noble Truths are also important. But the most important is still the 4th Noble Truth. Where the first Noble Truth just explained to you the reality of life and existence, means how to understand life, and how when you confront life without the Dhamma understanding, suffering will be the result. So this Noble Truth of dukkha is to develop that wisdom, but it doesn't teach you how to realize that wisdom. Yeah. So to realize that wisdom, you must cultivate Noble Eightfold Path. Then the second Noble Truth, as proclaimed by the Buddha, clearly explained that there is a cause behind all suffering. And the main cause is Sakkayaditthi, self-delusion. It is Sakkayaditthi that conditions the living beings to grasp and cling onto the five aggregates of form and mind, thinking that it is real, it is what they are, and that is the cause of suffering. That's why the five aggregates of grasping, upadana khandha, result in dukkha. So this one is to give you the wisdom to understand that the cause of arising is Sakkayaditthi, that condition you to grasp and cling. So craving is the cause of suffering. That is the meaning. Then the third Noble Truth just proclaim that cessation of dukkha, or the realization of nibbana, is possible in the here and the now. Suffering need not be. But this Noble Truth only proclaimed that it can be done, but it didn't teach you how to do it. Then the fourth Noble Truth, that is the one. He said, if living being cultivate this fourth Noble Truth, namely the Noble Eightfold Path, it will lead to the end of all suffering. That's why this is the meditation as taught by the Buddha. So understanding this is very important. That's why in the Parinibbana Sutta, the Buddha was asked a question by the last person who met him. He said, the question was, there are many teachers that come and proclaim that their teaching is the truth. And if you follow their teaching, it can lead to enlightenment in the here and the now, or afterlife, the immediate afterlife, the eternal heaven and other things. Then the Buddha explained to this person, he said, listen carefully. As long as there is this Noble Eightfold Path in the world will not be short of enlightened being, is it? But as long as the Noble Eightfold Path disappear during the Dhamma ending age, then it's very difficult to have enlightened beings. So as long as the Noble Eightfold Path is still available for cultivation, the world will not be empty or lack of enlightened beings. So this one also points clearly to importance of Noble Eightfold Path. If you don't cultivate Noble Eightfold Path, then it cannot lead to the end of all suffering. Okay, then we move on to the notes. So first foundation of mindfulness, I finished. Now move on to second foundation, Vedana Nupassana. Now this one is more important. Mindfulness of Vedana, or feeling that arise upon contact of mind with our respective sense bases. So the Buddha, under this foundation of feeling or Vedana Nupassana, clearly explained, he said, we must develop stability of mindfulness, awareness within. Then when the awareness arises, then we can be at the moment of feeling. Then be aware of feeling, the Buddha said. When you have wisdom, feeling will remain as pure feeling. But if you don't have the wisdom born of its teaching or the Dhamma understanding, then feeling can be conditioned into pleasant and unpleasant feeling, or even neutral feeling. So this conditioning or this stirring of the mind or reaction to sense experience, they arise to sakkayaditthi, self-delusion, that condition craving, both positive and negative craving. So, under this foundation, you're supposed to be mindful of feeling that arise, then how it stir and condition you into emotion, like and dislike, pleasant and unpleasant, fear, worry, anxiety, sorrow, and lamentation. So all these are the mind state that gets entangled through wrong thought, through wrong view, through wrong understanding. When you don't have Dhamma understanding, you react to sense experience, and you do it so habitually, it becomes habitual tendencies. And what are sensual desire and ill will? They are the first two mental hindrances of mind. That's why when you constantly react and stir your mind, you create sensual desire and ill will all the time. Means these are mental hindrances that will hinder your mind from entering the meditative state of inner peace, inner calmness, and inner awareness. So how can you meditate? No way. That's why Vedana Nupassana need to be understood. Not like what was traditionally taught. Ask you to note feeling. Then feeling has become unpleasant feeling. You note pain, pain, pain. So all this are taught because there is lack of understanding. The noting is by the thought. And when thought is active, how can you be mindful? How can you be aware? So what you need to do is to understand all this and then develop the understanding to cultivate appropriately. When feeling arises, allow it to be. Then when it has stirred, means feeling, if feeling has been conditioned into pleasant or unpleasant feeling or emotion, like pain, unpleasant feeling, or pleasant feeling, like joy or whatever, you must be aware. Then one has to be aware. That is, it has become sensual desire and ill will, which are the first two mental hindrances of mind, the five mental hindrances of mind. And it is also the first two evil roots of greed and hatred of mind. With this awareness, you must arise the right effort to abandon them. Sui, move it up. To abandon the unwholesome thought that has arisen, followed by the right effort to prevent them from arising in the future. So these are the 5 ways as taught by the Buddha. And you have to develop this cultivation, otherwise you cannot progress. So during the meditation, if we are not mindful of the uncomfortable tactile feeling that arises via lack of wisdom or Dhamma understanding, then we will react to it and label it as painful or unpleasant feeling, which is the reason why your mind cannot be peaceful anymore, where pain is a mental hindrance. It's a ill will, a mental negativity, negative craving. You want to push it away. If we have this understanding, then we will be mindful of this feeling via our silent mind to investigate it, to trace its origination factor, so as to understand how the unarisen mental hindrance of mind comes to be. Move it up. The mind comes to understand that if there is no wrong view or sakkayaditthi, then the stirring of the mind leading to the arising of mental hindrance or sensual desire and ill will not happen. Then we are straightening. Oh, the spelling is wrong. We are straightening one's view to accepting as they are, one will be able to retrospectively reverse it, thereby understanding how the disappearance of the reason hindrance comes to be via wisdom. So this part is very important. How can you develop this acceptance to accepting as they are? Take for example, pain, the unpleasant sensation that arise during meditation. It normally happens in an area where your leg cross itself and where it press itself against its own bodily part, or sometimes against the hard floor or cushion. After a long period of sitting, if you don't know how to relax, the chi flow will be constricted. Then you will develop that tactile sensation that develop into a type of unpleasant sensation. And it's like inside there's a lot of pulling, stretching, everything, because the chi cannot flow, like blockage. And it build up. So during that time, if you develop mental hindrance by reacting to it, then this will hinder your mind from entering the meditative state of inner peace and inner calmness. That's why you cannot develop the meditative mind. But instead, if you have the wisdom to accept the reality, means you have not developed the ability to relax. That's why this thing build up. So when it build up, you must develop the understanding that no amount of aversion or dislike can free your mind, because it will become mental hindrance. So what you need to do is to endure through understanding, means you relax into it and let it be. Means feeling as feeling. You relax into it and allow the chi to flow. When you are relaxed, there is no stress. Then you maintain sati or mindfulness. Then without mental hindrance, the spiritual faculty of sati takes over. So the relaxation step helps. When you are relaxed, the chi will start to flow. And sometimes when you are doing it for the first time, you have to be patient, because you have to really wait until it dissolves. Then it will like flashes through. Then you will see how that sati that will take over and develop the ability for the body chi to flow through. And when that happens, then you can endure the movement. You can endure the what they call sitting, the posture, because you are relaxed and you accept the reality, because you are not relaxed. So you relax and allow nature to take over. And without mental hindrance, sati will take over. Then you realize the shift of consciousness occur. And suddenly, like the whole sensation that is unpleasant, which you never label, just flashes through and is gone. Then for the first time in your life, you will develop the joy, where the sitting has become so different, with understanding and without understanding. That's why this is how you develop it. Then after you have developed it, the sutta say, then as this wisdom finally stabilizes, one will also come to understand how the non-arising of this hindrance in the future comes to be. Because when you know how the unarisen one has arisen through your lack of understanding, then develop the understanding and see it cease, then you come to know how the arisen mental hindrance cease to be. Through what? Through acceptance, through not reacting, not stirring, not creating mental states that defeats the mental hindrance. That's why you come to term with the reality, relax into it, maintain awareness, and let things be. Then it will reverse. Then all this will bring about the wisdom, so that you will know how to confront all this sensation that can trigger off mental hindrance when you don't have the understanding and the wisdom. So this is the way to develop wisdom or insight via Vedana Anupassana, and not we are just noting pain, hoping to do away with the pain via resisting, suppression and control, etc. Then the fourth part is to go deeper into the investigation, means trace the origination factor. We can also inquire as follows. Before this unpleasant feeling like pain arises, there was none. Hence the awareness of this feeling transforming into a mental hindrance or unpleasant feeling can bring about an understanding of how the unarisen mental hindrance comes to be. How come I have this reaction of mind to those mental perceptions that I come to perceive via my seeing or hearing or thought, consciousness, thinking, thereby conditioning the feeling or sensation into mental hindrance or sensual desire or ill will? It is because of one's conditioning, habitual tendency to reject unpleasant feelings such as negative craving. Hence a wrong view, born of habitual tendency. If you can be at peace with what you perceive, via acceptance of what is, this is what I meant. When there is no more wrong view, then with this right view or right understanding, to accept the reality of the moment, one can just let things be, and then silence one's mind to relax into it. So relaxation is key. When you do not relax, when you do not react or grasp and cling onto the sensation with aversion or wrong view, then what happens? The mental hindrance no more or cease to be. So the mind that accepts the reality of that sensation without reacting to it can be at peace with it. Hence the mind can relax into it, and the sensation will become normal and peaceful again. So the lack of peace comes from your reaction of mind through your wrong thought, to try to do away with that unpleasant sensation that you had labeled via your wrong view, sakkaya-ditthi, self-delusion, where you believe the feeling is you, and you are that painful feeling, the unpleasant feeling. That's why you want to push it away or do away with it. That resistance is craving. Then the next part, meditation is to develop the wisdom to understand and then act with right view following Noble Eightfold Path, which is incapable of any negativity, to resolve all issues amicably, instead of reacting to them via delusion and wrong view, thereby creating more negativity in the process. So the main purpose and intent of meditation is to realize the wisdom to be at peace with any situation within the moment, and not to label it as pain or unpleasant sensation, etc. With no more aversion, then only we can accept the reality of the moment And to understand that it is because we do not know how to relax into it, causing the chi flow to be constricted, thereby causing the unpleasant sensation. This is what we should do. We don't have to suppress or resist and control it. So these are the understanding. Okay, the next part. Third foundation of mindfulness, Chittanupassana. So like feeling, here we go deep into the content of consciousness, where Chitta is consciousness and its content. That's why it becomes the thought. The pure consciousness is Vijnanam. But once the content of consciousness go in, it will become Chitta, or the second aspect of the five aggregate of form and mind. So the content of consciousness is very important. That's why I like feeling. Here we go deep into the content of consciousness, so that we can be aware of the evil roots of greed, hatred, and delusion, and various states of consciousness. Consciousness that is peaceful, restless, agitated, tranquil, still, or whatever. You have to be mindful to deal with it as above, so as to develop the wisdom to free the mind. So here, instead of feeling becoming pleasant and unpleasant, you must look at your content of consciousness. The content of consciousness that has greed, which comprise selfishness, covetousness, craving, clinging, grasping, attachment, possessiveness, etc. You have to be aware. Means the evil roots are there, and these are wrong thoughts. Evil condition, suffering, misery, affliction. That's why I teach you how to develop understanding of wrong thought. I say whenever you are not happy and not peaceful, the wrong thoughts are there. So this is the way to trace the three evil roots of greed, hatred, and delusion within your content of consciousness. When there is selfishness, born of sakkayaditthi, you must know, you must be aware. When there is fear, when there is worry, anxiety, sorrow, lamentation, and restlessness of mind, or insecurity, you must be aware. So aware of content of consciousness is very important. And all these are the evil roots. Roots of all evil make you evil. That's why you have to develop the 5 ways to abandon them. Especially the 3rd and 4th way, as shared earlier on. Okay, we move on to the 4th foundation of mindfulness. The first category of cultivation is, the 4th foundation of mindfulness is Dhammanupassana. The first category of Dhamma cultivation is mindfulness of the 5 mental hindrances. This one we have already gone through. It's similar to Vedana-nupassana. Then, second category is mindfulness of the 5 aggregates of form and mind, which is Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, Vijnana. Then, C, mindfulness of 6 internal sense bases and 6 external sense bases, the 18 sense line, to trace the origination factor, and then Asui moving up. Retrospectively reverse them via wisdom. Then mindfulness of the 7 factors of enlightenment, followed by the final cultivation of mindfulness of the Four Noble Truths to realize enlightenment in the here and now, which I have explained just now. So once enlightened, there is no more delusion. So one will never be deluded by the 5 aggregate of form and mind anymore. One doesn't have to suffer anymore. One will know how to use this karmically conditioned form and mind to truly live the noble life. wonderfully and meaningfully, following Noble Eightfold Path, thereby becoming a blessing to all. This is the reason why the Heart Sutra say true emptiness is wonderful existence. Okay, we stop here. Okay, now we come to second session, which is meditation, reporting, followed by whatever Dhamma sharing that you want to do. It may involve the Dhamma, the meditation, or even today's sharing.
Radio, when I heard that you wanted to start on the Surangama
Sutta.
Sutta, yeah, I was quite excited because
sadhu, yeah, that one very good.
Yeah.
That one I
Yeah,
think by
good.
now you can have much better understanding compared to last time.
Yes, because actually someone gave me a few books of the Surangama Sutra last time. I think before even I met Brother Teo about maybe 20 years ago.
Wow, means you have
What?
affinity. Yeah.
It's supposed to be 9 volumes, right? But I don't think I have. I need to check lah. I think I
No
only have
need. Now
6
you
of
can
the.
come and collect one, just one copy. All the 9 volume condensed into one. Yeah. It's also from.
Yeah, I got it already.
Oh, you have it already. The deep brown,
Yeah.
deep blue cover on
The
the
blue
thick.
one, yes.
The thick. That one very good. That one is an improved version. Much more improved. That one is not so long-winded.
Yeah. So last time when I first got it, I was quite excited also lah. And I started reading it, I remember, and I couldn't understand at all because it was like for me repeating, Vijay Ananda and the Buddha, the questions, same thing over and over again.
Yeah, the dialogue.
And I didn't understand at all. Yeah,
Till
so I
that
feel
time you
excited.
are not able to grasp the content at that time. That's why not easy. Most people also cannot understand. Even a lot of cultivator, especially Theravada tradition, they did not read Mahayana Sutta one. All the sutra like Sing Jing, Heart Sutra, then the Surangama Sutta, the Diamond Sutra, they cannot follow, they cannot understand. That's why nowadays when you can find somebody who can share in English, all this Mahayana Sutta, a lot of English educated those of the Theravada tradition, they like to listen. No? I got a lot of feedback. A lot of these English educated Theravada tradition, they like to listen to my sharing, where I can match the teaching against the Theravada tradition. So when I explain, if you truly understand the Theravada essential Dhamma teaching, you will understand the Mahayana teaching, no different actually. Except people who don't understand, they thought it's so different. It's like totally not the same at all. That's why some even have the thought that the Mahayana Sutra are not authentic. In fact, in the early days, there were a lot of this unnecessary misunderstanding. But nowadays, I realize it's less already. Less people speak about it and mention about the difference already. And most people now starts to understand based on what I advise. You don't have the clear understanding, have an open mind. When your cultivation progress, when you develop the understanding, then you will understand it differently. And then that time you appreciate. In fact, many of the Theravada tradition, before they really develop the cultivation, they cannot understand, they cannot follow. But somehow, most of them have some form of affinity. Like your case also same. You will receive those books, somehow people will pass to you. Then, of course, when you read that time, not easy to follow, not easy to understand. But as you develop more affinity, then you attend more of the appropriate Dhamma teaching, then you start to develop progress. And then you see the beauty of the teaching. Now you can understand and follow, and it's so different, and it's so profound. In fact, it's just not understanding the what they call basis of mind, sinh vị cần bệnh. You have to start with the basic understanding of mind, that basically living being, especially human being, we have two minds. One is the true, pure awareness nature within, which is the primordial nature that was there all the time upon birth. And the other one is the resultant mundane thinking mind, or what we call the mano, the aggregates of mind, the second aspect, the consciousness and its content, the second aspect, the magician. That's why when you understand that, then the teaching all like fall into place. Then you can understand why the Buddha say this mano, the mundane mind, is the forerunner of all things. Mind is chief. Where mind arises, all things arise. Everything arises from the mind. Mind make our day. That's why when mind arises, all things arise. Means karma, everything arise. So mind is the forerunner of all things, and mind is chief. It's very true. When you understand that, then you understand the whole teaching. And how from the wrong view, Sakayaditi, it conditions the three evil roots of greed, hatred, and delusion, and make one evil. That's how the negativity of karma, karmic process, take off. Then how through the law of karma, they entangle themselves. You reap what you sow. Do good begets good. Do evil begets evil. And most people don't have the understanding of the essential Dhamma. Can't even understand why the Buddha say, do good begets good. Do evil begets evil. If you plant the seed of wholesomeness, you reap the fruit of wholesomeness. And what is good and what is evil, what is wholesome, they also don't know. The three evil roots expressing from Sakayaditi, self-delusion, they cannot see that. That's why the whole of the teaching cannot be comprehended. And actually they are all connected. That's why the essential Dhamma, the puja, the refuge, the taking of precepts, renewal of precepts, they are all connected. The importance of paying respect to the triple gem, taking refuge, etc. Why we must develop a good religious daily routine. Then our daily Dhamma activity, which we need to develop as advised by the Buddha, the pre-puja, the closing puja, and in between the Dhamma sharing, and the 10 meritorious action that manifest through attending all this activity. That's how we strengthen our karmic nature. We develop our spiritual wealth, spiritual understanding. That's how, with the Dhamma understanding, we can cultivate accordingly. Then we will not fall. We will progress along the path of Dhamma and develop the good understanding of life, to live life, to have the good life. So all these are part and parcel of the understanding, the awakening, and the training. Very good. Okay, Manya, you continue.
I think I understand what you're saying. Why is it important to do all those things so that the
Now you
mind
understand,
doesn't...
and you do it with understanding and joy. Like
Yes.
in the like in the retreat, you remember I told you all, actually all the merits, the wholesomeness, the gems are everywhere. It's whether cultivator or the way understand it or not, know how to do it or not. By having a good mind, a good thought, by having the understanding of how to cultivate affinity, you just do the puja activity and all this religious routine. You really fat one or really everything become like very full, the merits, the wholesomeness, and your life change overnight. Your life change, and you continue with this routine. You like you can feel you are very blessed, and your family member also, they can see you have changed, and they feel confident in front of you or with you. So all this will manifest. Then your nature's energy different. The pure vibration. You can give faith to people. The gift of faith means to overcome fear. The gift of fearlessness and all those things. Then you can develop a lot of wholesomeness of mind state. That all of your actions, speech, and thought process, they are in accordance with Noble Eightfold Path. Very beautiful. This is how you can become a blessing to all of humanity. That's why our Kayamita are different. They possess and manifest a lot of all this from their understanding of the teaching. You continue, Maya. Sorry.
I for the first two class I can follow lah, and it's really amazing. Realize that not everyone like Brother Teo. When you read, you can explain on the spot.
Yeah. No need notes, nothing.
And when you explain those sentences, then then it strikes me. Yes, this is what it means. That means if you don't
It
say,
become like very clear to you,
the moment you say, it's like, oh yeah, that is what it means. But before that,
sadhu.
it didn't.
It didn't
Yeah.
click in. It didn't like appear so clear because all this is because of the causes and condition, the Kayamita force everything, and also your affinity and individual cultivators, Kayamita's affinity. Otherwise, not so easy one. That's why those who attend the class one, you will know. Without my explanation, not so easy to go in. But with the explanation, when you listen again and again, wow, the thing stand out one. And become very clear. Then as you contemplate, reflect, and stabilize it, you also become different. You also transform. Later on, a lot of Kayamita, you will be able not only have the understanding, you can slowly express this out already. And it can become a part of your nature, a living reality. Especially now, I straight away go into the two mind, the true mind and the mundane thinking mind, the creating, dependent, originating mind. So with the four circle formation, now the teaching can become very penetrative and very different. And basically is to understand that sinh vĩ根本 means the basis of Dhamma cultivation is to understand the basis of mind. We have two minds. That is the basis. And to understand that true mind, that pure awareness nature is not easy. Well, that cultivation, very few cultivators can reach it. Not easy. But for our Kayamita, it's like becoming normal now. Quite easy to follow and comprehend. Yeah, what you have shared is very good. It's really true for most Kayamita, and it's happening.
So really thank you, Raphael.
No problem. My nature also rejoices.
it was
I,
a bit funny
uh,
how I got. Actually, there was a shop opposite my house last time. Now no more already. The photo shop you know the photo shop.
I know.
Never
I
mind.
did the photo for your whatever spiritual trip or they help people to do one. Yeah.
That one I'm not sure lah. But the boss, Mr. Ng, he has passed away. But he's quite young, when I think maybe about 40s. He got a heart attack, I heard. Yeah. I know him quite well. So there was one time we were talking, then he got to know that I was a Buddhist. And then every time when last time when we still don't have handphone, we use the manual camera.
Correct.
And then we have to buy
With the
film
film inside to develop it.
Yeah, so I always go to his shop and get it from him
Then
he will develop it himself. He had a dark room. Then he do it himself.
Very good.
So there was one day we were talking, and then suddenly he said, I got some books, and it was brand new. He took out from his cupboard, and it was still wrapped in the yellow paper. Then he said, I want to do it. Then he just shoved it to me. Then I said, because it was very huge bundle. And I thought, I don't think I can handle it so many. But he said, don't worry, I give it to you. So I have two different feelings at that time First was I'm not sure whether I can handle it, because to me it was a big bundle. Then but at the inside me, I was feeling quite happy, But since
because of the affinity, that's why this thing can happen. And when it happens, it's very amazing one. And the book will come. Like I used to share with you all. When the time comes, when you are ready, when the student is ready, the book will come, the teacher will come, the guide will come, everything will come and fall into place. That's what Triple Gem is. When you have refuge, have affinity, it will manifest in its own unique way. Very good. That's why you can remember him.
I remember him. He was quite to me also but that one a different story. So I brought the books home and when I was taking the books home, I was a bit worried also because we don't like to have a lot of things in the house because we don't want to. And then I know my brother will say the same thing when he saw me bringing back the books. So having all this in my mind, and sure enough, he saw me coming back with all those books. He was saying, you bringing rubbish back to the house. I don't know. Because I felt the same way. I have the same feeling. It's not only these books, anything we don't like to bring a lot of things home. Wow. You know what I did, Brother Teo? I go and look at all my drawers, the one that belongs to me, and I clear whatever I don't like, whatever that I can think I can throw.
Not relevant one,
I throw away, and then I put all the. I remember I didn't get all 9. I think it was about 6 only. All the 6 quite thick one, the blue one, all into the drawer, and then I was happy because understand that when I read, I was excited. I took one out, I read. Then after that, I put it back. I don't know what it was trying to say.
Most people are like that. Most people they have the affinity they receive, but initially they read, they cannot understand that they put back on the shelf, or like your case in the drawer or what. But when the time comes, all this become like meaningful. For me, it was different in the sense that I have my past. Then when I came to know that they have this English translation, I think that time was 1986, 87. when I take refuge. Then my brother happened to be an electrical engineer. He was sent there for training. I think Seattle, somewhere near the Los Angeles, San Francisco area there. So I say, you are there, you drop by to this city of 10,000 Buddha, whatever English translation they have, you just buy them for me. So he bought and sent by ship through the post. And the total postage come to about our money at that time, 1,000 something, I remember. But I was full of joy. I paid for it. When the book came, I read through. It was beautiful. At that time, I was like in the midst of full-time cultivating, 86, 87, 88, until end of 88, almost early 89. And my nature connect. That's why all these books, they come for a reason. And the first transcript Surangama Sutta, I remember, was a photostat copy delivered to me by his Kapia, Master Chenna's Kapia. That one was in the year 83 or 84, I forgot already. Very early, the first book that came. I was so surprised. Where he came actually to my office. That time I was in university here. I was the head of property development and maintenance. So the property office, maintenance office, I was the head of the civil engineering section. Then he came and he saw my hand got a yellow string. Yeah, that was to prevent people who don't have the understanding from simply saying things. Then he asked me one question, which was very strange. He said, Mr. Theo, you are a Buddhist? I said, yeah. I said, how you know? He said, you're yellow string. He said. Then I said, yeah. I said, has been for a while. He said, I will give you a book. He never tell me what book. He said, I will give you a book. I said, okay, thank you. Then what happened, the next morning, he came to the office, he gave me a photostat book. After he left, I opened it out. Surangama Sutta, chapter 1. English, that was the only translation at that time. That's why I was like surprised and yet full of joy, amazed. I said, then I called him up now. I said, can you drop by? I said, I need to ask you a lot of things. Then he dropped by there. Hey, how you have this book? He said, this one is by my master. He said, huh? I said, your master, who are you? I said, he said he was a kapia before his father called him back to help out in the family business. So he said he has been kapia to Master Xuan Hua for many years as a lay person, and he shaved his head, become, I think, upasika, that time they call it, or samanera, I forgot it. Then he told me this is the first English translation. He's a Malaysian. Then I thanked him. I said, next time, if there is anything I need, I will call you. He said, you are most welcome. He said, that's why when you have affinity, all these things come out. Then my office also got one lady, Christian, Doreen. He saw every day I meditate in the office or no, before the office start at 8:30. Normally I arrive at 7:30. I meditate 1 hour, then I on the light. The timing is very accurate and very punctual. Then Friday also he observed lunch break, long lunch break. I go and have my lunch early. Then I come back, I lock my room, I off the light, I meditate. Then exactly 2:45 that time I on and open the door. And he was observing. Then he suddenly one day he came in and said, Mr. Theo, I think you will be interested in this. So I thought it was a donation from the church. So So I said, no problem, no problem. I said, bring. He passed to me. Then I saw Master Xuan Hua delegation coming out from the city of 10,000 Buddha. Hey, I say, I thought you are a Christian. Then he told me, yeah, but I saw you meditate. He said, and my brother-in-law, means her brother-in-law, is a Buddhist. He said, and I believe this form will interest you. I said, yes. I said, I need 3. I said, so I asked her to give me 2 more. That's how all these things happen. Then after that, I went and do the recording for all the session when Master Xuan Hua was here. Then that was the time my whole family went and take refuge with Master Xuan Hua. That's why all these things can just happen like that. And the recording was done almost every night of the talk for about a week or so. And that time the recording, I went upstairs, less people, but downstairs full. Then one day got some monks want to visit Master Xuan Hua. So down there a lot of people, he asked them to come upstairs. Then he came out. Everybody was excited. They rushed in front, want to pay respect and make offering. Then that time I also don't know why I also prepare my offering. We normally intend to deliver the offering after the talk over downstairs where he allowed devotee to do it. But that time was before the end of the Dhamma Sharing. It was before he really started. Then this visitor came and Xuan Hua came out. Then everybody rushed except me and my wife. I tell my wife, you stay here, don't rush. I say, just let things be. Then strangely he said, stop. If you don't stop, I will walk in again, he said. Xuan Hua told them. Then everybody stopped. Then I don't know what happened now. He came out. Before he received the visitor, he came in front of me. Then he received that thing I give to him. Then after that, move on to my wife there. Then after that, the rest want to come. He said, no, enough. He said, then he went and received them and they went in. There's a lot of very strange things happen. And that time I can see his face. I can sense like that face, no craving inside one. My nature can sense. But at that time, I already have the understanding and my daily mindfulness already stable. So all this happened because of past affinity causes and condition. And it's like meant to be. That's why what you say is true. All this will come to you when the time comes. And I like that say, when the cultivator or the student is ready, the teacher, the guide and the book will appear. That one is very true. Then initially is through affinity, you will receive them, but you will somehow sense that it's important one. That's why those have Wu Yan, got affinity or not, you can see one. Yeah, the sign is there one. And a lot of things. Even my children, when they are young, they follow me. Then they met up with Acharya. But of course, when they finish their primary 6, they become independent. Then at that time, I remember my wife told me, hey, now they don't go Sunday school already. I said, never mind, let things be. Then they go on their own. But when the time comes, I told my wife, things will happen and it will manifest. And they know what they want and what they need. Because they are the way they are, unique to their own past affinity. So sooner or later, if they have the affinity and the understanding, they will come back to all this Dhamma activity. So that was how all this can happen. Otherwise, our website or hosting, my daughter will not come back, retire, and help out and do all these things. It will be impossible. That's why it's meant to be causes and conditions. Once established, it will naturally unfold. Very good, Maya. Sadhu for the sharing.
Yeah, Maha Sadhu. Thank you
Yeah.
much, Brother Teo.
Yeah.
Thank you for your teaching and all your love for us.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We should all rejoice. Sadhu. Very good.
Good evening, Brother Teo.
Yeah, Nancy.
Mr. Can you hear me?
Yeah, can. Very clear.
Anna.
Yeah, very clear.
Yeah. From the last time I reported to Brother Teo about the daily awareness, I was like in and out, but now I feel like I'm more stable.
Very good. Sadhu.
Yeah. We're sitting there is more calm, even though I don't have that heart pumping, you know. But
don't worry about that. That one will come by itself. You will be able to detect your heartbeat, everything later on when you stabilize.
Even there is vibration, but not at the heart area.
Don't worry, it will initially develop at other area. Then later on, it will settle down. It will settle down. When you have the faith, the sincerity, and the patience, then you just do. Then it will come, it will fall into place. Then you do more and more lying down, relax. Or if you are more used to the sitting, then you remember to relax and just let things be. Then if your main object is anapanasati or your rising falling, you continue to stay there until it's stabilized. When it's stabilized until like there is no thought, then everything has become very subtle, very still. Then you just stay at the object of meditation and let the sati pick up all the subtle movement again. Then you start to become more and more sensitive again. Then after that, you stay at the heart area, relax and maintain awareness at the heart area. Don't try to know, don't try to. Then it will detect itself. It will develop the movement itself.
Normally, I would put my awareness there when I sit. I put it at the heart area.
Very good. Then remember to relax. Most people forget one after some time. The more relaxed you are, the more stable your sati is on. You can relax until the mind settle down and just let things be. Then the free maya is your pure awareness nature. And that is the one that finally will become very quiet and very still. Then you suddenly realize that tranquility is a stillness. The first time you go through that, you will feel a lot of difference between the old meditation and the new one. But once you can feel that tranquility and stillness, that is the beginning of stability of the true mind surfacing. And from then onward, you will understand a lot of things on your own. Then you will like to meditate. You will continue to develop the habit. Then your daily religious routine, if you do it well over certain period, with 3 or 6 months, it will stabilize further. The daily religious routine, incorporating the daily mindfulness, intend to be aware of everything you do in life. That one will speed up the stability of mindfulness. Then out of the blue, suddenly you realize your kaya movement and your awareness has become one. Then you realize everything you do is with awareness on. Your movement is with awareness. your seeing, your hearing, your sense perception, all with sati yuan. When you realize that your nature will progress very fast, then my nature will sadhu you. So have patience. You should be able to do it soon.
Yeah. I this religious routine, I used to do it very religiously many years ago. And then, when I have to, my daily choice of taking care of the grandchildren and all that. So I really don't have, but that faith, that sada is there. You know,
That one will help you to develop
yeah,
the understanding and come back.
Yeah, the other day I was reflecting. I mean, I don't know whether I was reflecting, but I felt the joy of the Dharma. It gave me so much confidence. And then from the confidence, I said there is trust. So I don't know whether it's the same trust.
Very good.
So, trust things to go just the
When
way
there
it,
is trust, your faith become very strong.
yeah.
No doubt at all about that trust. You trust that nature to develop the movement and the transformation and the understanding. That part very important. Sadhu, very good.
Yeah, but the problem is, Brother Teo, even though I say that I understand about the form and mind, the aggregate conditions, I have this problem of going to check my health for health check. There's fear of health check.
No problem. You can go and check. No problem.
But I have this fear, that something might might not turn out right,
Don't worry. That is the physical body. The physical body will go the way of nature. But the good thing about meditation is when you do it correctly, it will actually reach a point where the pure energy can heal your physical body and your health will improve. You must learn how to develop the relaxation, then the mindfulness to detect the mind base, the gateway to your nature. Once that one detected, it will heal you. Where all your yin yang energy from external that you have developed through whatever meditation you have done, whether Qigong or Anapanasati or whatever mind training that you have done. All this external so-called energy field or Qi, they will melt inside and become pure energy. That's why never wasted. Then it will activate whatever that need to heal or recuperate or let you develop the progress. So that movement, I remember during 89 after I connect, I become like a perfect human being now, completely free of illness and disease. It's like you become a perfect human. You feel so good inside, like a car perfectly tuned until no sound. Like you very healthy at that time. So don't worry about what the thought tell you. Yes, initially the thought will tell you to go for health check. Yes, at the age that we are getting in, it's normal to have this health check and all those things. Where most people were advised by the medical people every 6 to 8 months or 1 year, you must at least have one blood test or health check. That one is normal. If you are a government servant, you should do it. Even if you are not a government servant, nowadays it's very easy because if you're above the age of 60, which I believe you are, you can actually get like a pensioner's rate, very cheap, government hospital, but have to wait for a while. You go and register, then say you are retiree, pensioner, no, not pensioner, retiree, above the age of 60, then you can go for your blood test, everything. It's very cheap, very cheap.
Yeah, it's that fear of
never mind, you continue.
No, it's the fear of knowing the results.
Oh, don't worry.
You know.
You have to learn to accept the reality. But whatever happens is the reality. So sometimes when the result come out, no need to panic or what, have a second opinion. But you know yourself. When you are mindful and aware, you will know your health. If anything not right, you will know. You have the sensitivity inside there. Then you will know how to attend to it. You need to call the ambulance and get yourself admitted. Do it, which is good. Because in life, most people have to go through, because this health condition is a common thing. Nowadays, younger and younger people are going through all this, and the phases of it happening is like more and more common nowadays. Even the younger generation. Now they got a lot of health issue that during our time we don't go through one. In fact, now the kids they have more problem. So this is part and parcel of life, reality. So no problem. Learn to confront it. Learn to face it. Where these are reality of form and mind and life, which is existence. The prevalence of suffering is everywhere. So once we have the Dhamma, we can confront them with the Dhamma understanding, and the acceptance of it will liberate our mind from all the unnecessary fear, worry, anxiety. But no amount of fear, worry, anxiety can help you overcome your life problem. Okay, we have to end. Let's see. We are 10:37 already. So you can summarize. You want to summarize anything, or we end?
No, just to thank you for all the
Sadhu.
essential Dhamma.
Sadhu. Very good. Okay, we end. Thank you so much. Let us rejoice with all the good sharing. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, now we do the marriage, sharing of marriage and closing puja. Akasata cha bhumata devanaga mahindika punyang tang anumoditva chirang rakantu loka sasana ittavata camehi sampadan punya sampadan sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampati siddhya idang me nyatinang hotu sukhita hontu nyatayo idang me nyatinang hotu sukhita hontu nyatayo idang me nyatinang hotu sukhita hontu nyatayo Deo hasadukhalena sasa sampati hitu cha fito bhavatu loko cha Raja bhavatu dhammiko imina punyang kamena mame bala samagamo satang samagamo hotu yawa nivana patiya sadhu sadhu sadhu. Okay, you can now pay respect mindfully to Lord Buddha, Kuan Bodhisattva, and all the worthy ones. Then we end. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.